This is why I don't look at a lot of my movies after I've made them. I don't sit down and I'm not Gloria Swanson in Sunset Boulevard having screenings of her own silent movies for herself. So I don't look back that often, but every once in a while I'll see a movie with my kids because I want to accompany my kids when they see E.T. for the first time.
Hey there, movie buffs! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're zooming into the blockbuster life of Steven Spielberg, his dazzling lifestyle, massive earnings, and the heartbreaking latest news that's got everyone talking. If you're ready for a cinematic ride, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss a single frame of these iconic stories. Let's get started. When you think of Steven Spielberg, you probably picture him behind the camera, crafting epic movies that have shaped modern cinema. But beyond the world of filmmaking, Spielberg has a range of hobbies and interests that reflect his creative spirit and his love for culture and adventure. First off, let's talk about his passion for art. Spielberg is a huge fan of fine art and has invested quite a bit in collecting. He's known for his impressive collection of works by renowned artists, including the likes of Marc Chagall and George Bellows. Art galleries and auctions are a regular part of his life, and his collection is said to be worth millions. But Spielberg isn't just about big-ticket items like art. He's also got a soft spot for history, particularly World War II. His interest in the past has led him to collect memorabilia, especially items related to the military. Some of this passion comes from his work on projects like Saving Private Ryan, but it's also rooted in a personal interest in history. His collections include rare uniforms, weapons, and documents from the era. Another area where Spielberg spends his money is philanthropy. He's been known to donate generously to various causes, especially those related to education, the arts, and children's welfare. He's the co-founder of the USC Shoah Foundation, which is dedicated to preserving the testimonies of survivors of the Holocaust. This is a cause close to his heart, and he's used both his time and money to ensure it thrives. Spielberg is also a big fan of music. Over the years, he's built quite the collection of vintage and rare instruments. He's particularly interested in pianos, and his collection includes several historical pieces. His love for music extends beyond just collecting, though. He's often seen supporting young musicians and orchestras, and he's even collaborated with famous composers like John Williams, who created the iconic scores for many of his films. And of course, Spielberg's love for technology is legendary. He's always at the forefront of innovation, especially when it comes to filmmaking tools. From state-of-the-art cameras to virtual reality, Spielberg is often an early adopter of new technologies that push the boundaries of storytelling. It's not just about creating movies for him, it's about using the latest tech to make them as immersive and groundbreaking as possible. So, while Spielberg may be known for creating some of the most iconic films in history, he also knows how to enjoy life. Whether it's investing in art, donating to important causes, supporting music, or embracing cutting-edge technology, he spends his money in ways that reflect his diverse interests and deep appreciation for culture, history, and creativity. As we've seen, Steven Spielberg's life has been shaped by his work, his passion for art, and his contributions to the world. But like most people, it's his personal life that often captures the public's attention. Spielberg's relationships, both professional and personal, have been the subject of intense media scrutiny over the years. The man who can create heart-pounding drama on the big screen has managed to keep his personal life, well, a little more private. At the center of his personal life is his family. Spielberg has always been close to his loved ones, and his relationships with them are what seem to matter most. Over the years, he's been married twice. His first marriage was to actress Amy Irving in the 1980s. Although they eventually parted ways, the relationship produced a son, Max, who has grown up to be involved in the entertainment industry, much like his famous father. But it was his second marriage that truly captured the public's attention. In 1991, Spielberg married actress Kate Capshaw, a relationship that began when they worked together on Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. They have a blended family with several children from both of their previous relationships, as well as children they share together. Through it all, Spielberg and Capshaw have managed to keep their relationship strong, despite the challenges of fame and fortune. Kate Capshaw, who was already an established actress before meeting Spielberg, transitioned into a life of philanthropy and family after they married. She's been an active figure in Spielberg's charitable work, particularly in the areas of education and children's causes. Together, the couple has built a life that balances the spotlight with a focus on their loved ones and their shared passions. But no relationship is without its challenges, especially when you live under the glare of constant media attention. Spielberg has managed to remain incredibly private about the most personal aspects of his life, especially regarding the well-being of his family. While he's open about his professional endeavors, the details of his home life often stay out of the public eye. However, that doesn't mean that intrigue doesn't surround the Spielberg family. The press has long been fascinated by the dynamics between Steven, Kate, and their children. People are curious about how someone who's shaped modern cinema manages the balance between being a father, husband, and one of Hollywood's biggest moguls. And like many high-profile figures, there are moments when the public's curiosity about his family reaches a fever pitch. Despite all the speculation, Spielberg has always placed a high value on his family life. It's clear that, beyond his Oscar-winning career, his greatest achievements lie in the moments he shares with his loved ones. The way he balances the world of fame with a sense of normalcy in his personal life speaks to the deep respect he holds for his family and the foundation they provide him. As with many iconic figures, the public's fascination with Spielberg doesn't stop at his work. People are constantly wondering about the man behind the films, about the relationships and moments that have helped shape him into the legend we know today. But what's most striking is how, despite the buzz, Spielberg continues to safeguard the privacy of his loved ones, keeping the true heart of his personal life just out of reach. All right, Steven Spielberg has always been someone who values his family and personal relationships. And recently, there's been some news that's caught the attention of the public and stirred up feelings of sadness and sympathy. Allegedly, a significant person from Spielberg's past, someone from the early days of his personal life, has passed away. Sources close to Spielberg have suggested that the first woman he was ever in a serious relationship with has recently passed. While the details surrounding her life and death are understandably private, the news has certainly left many fans and followers of Spielberg's life wondering about the nature of this relationship and how it may have impacted him. Reports indicate that the two were close in Spielberg's younger years, before his rise to fame. This was the time when he was still figuring out his place in the world, both professionally and personally. The woman, who remains unnamed in many of the reports, was said to have been a supportive figure during the formative years of Spielberg's career, back when he was still dreaming of becoming the director we know today. Their relationship, though relatively private, was one that meant a lot to him in those early years of his life. Many who knew them describe her as someone who was not just a romantic partner, but a confidant and a source of emotional support during a critical time in Spielberg's personal growth. In fact, it's said that their relationship helped shape Spielberg into the man he became. The passing of someone who played such a pivotal role in his life must be a deeply emotional moment for him. Though Spielberg himself has not publicly commented on the news, those who are close to him have expressed their condolences. It's clear that, despite the years that have passed since they were last involved, her influence and the memories of their time together still resonate with him today. It's moments like this that remind us that even celebrities, no matter how successful or powerful, are human. They experience loss, love, and the complexities of relationships, just like everyone else. While Spielberg has always kept his personal life relatively private, it's clear that the passing of this important figure from his past has impacted him deeply. As with any loss, it's a time for reflection, for remembering the people who helped shape the path we walk. As we've delved into Steven Spielberg's personal life, it's clear that his success isn't just about creating iconic movies. It's also about how he's built an empire from his talent and vision. Spielberg's story is one of persistence, creativity, and, of course, making smart business moves. But how exactly does the man who brought Jaws, The Pacific, and Jurassic Park to life make his money? Well, first and foremost, Spielberg is one of the highest-paid filmmakers in Hollywood, and his financial success largely comes from his work as a director, producer, and writer. But what sets him apart from many other filmmakers is that Spielberg knows how to leverage his creative output into financial gain. For example, when E.T. was released in 1982, Spielberg negotiated for a percentage of the film's profits. That move turned out to be incredibly lucrative. E.T. earned hundreds of millions, and Spielberg took home a hefty share. On top of that, Spielberg co-founded DreamWorks SKG in 1994, which has not only been a major player in the film industry but also a highly profitable company. DreamWorks has produced a wide range of successful films, from animated hits like Shrek to serious dramas like Saving Private Ryan. The success of DreamWorks has contributed significantly to Spielberg's wealth, making him a financial mogul in Hollywood. But Spielberg doesn't just rely on movie profits. He's a savvy investor, having stakes in various industries outside of entertainment. One of his significant investments was in the video game industry. Spielberg was involved in the creation of Boom Blocks, a video game for the Nintendo Wii, and has been known to invest in tech startups and other ventures. His ability to diversify his investments has helped him grow his wealth in ways that go beyond filmmaking. As for how much money Spielberg has made over his career, it's no secret that he's amassed a fortune. By most estimates, his net worth is somewhere in the range of $8 billion, making him one of the richest filmmakers in the world. His incredible success is the result of decades of hard work, smart decisions, and his ability to not just make blockbuster films, but to turn his creative ideas into financial gold. What's even more impressive is that Spielberg's wealth hasn't come solely from a single source. His earnings from directing, producing, writing, and his ownership stake in DreamWorks have all contributed to his impressive fortune. Not to mention Spielberg's long-standing partnerships with major studios like Universal and Warner Brothers have kept him at the top of the industry for decades. Despite his vast fortune, Spielberg is known for being relatively modest when it comes to flaunting his wealth. He's never been one to make headlines for extravagant purchases or lifestyle choices, instead preferring to focus on his work and his family. So, now that we've talked about how Steven Spielberg has built his incredible fortune, let's take a peek into how he's chosen to live. As you can imagine, with a net worth that's in the billions, Spielberg's real estate portfolio is as impressive as his career. Spielberg's main residence is a sprawling estate in the exclusive area of Pacific Palisades in Los Angeles. Nestled in the hills, his home offers incredible views of the ocean and the city, and it's the perfect retreat for a man who has lived much of his life in the public eye. The property itself is expansive, with lush gardens, multiple guest houses, and plenty of space for Spielberg to unwind with his family. This home is a far cry from the glitz and glamour often associated with Hollywood. It's more about privacy, peace, and comfort, which is exactly what Spielberg values. By the way, in the recent California fires, Steven Spielberg's home remained untouched by the fire. In addition to his Pacific Palisades home, Spielberg also owns a few other properties. One of his notable purchases is a mansion in East Hampton, New York. This home, like his LA estate, offers privacy and a connection to nature. With a large estate featuring beautiful grounds and a sense of seclusion, the East Hampton property allows Spielberg to escape the hustle and bustle of the West Coast when he needs a break. It's the kind of place where he can enjoy some quiet time with family or even host intimate gatherings away from the spotlight. But Spielberg isn't just about lavish estates. He also owns some more subtle and understated properties, including a ranch in the San Juan Mountains in Colorado. This particular property has a more rustic feel, with its expansive landscapes and natural surroundings. It's the perfect place for Spielberg to get away from it all and immerse himself in nature. Many of his friends and collaborators have spoken about his love for the outdoors, and this Colorado property reflects that love for wide-open spaces and a peaceful, tranquil lifestyle. What's interesting about Spielberg's real estate choices is that, unlike some other celebrities, he doesn't seem to be constantly buying and selling properties for the sake of status. Instead, he carefully curates his homes with a focus on privacy, comfort, and quality of life. It's clear that he values places where he can relax and be with his loved ones, away from the prying eyes of the public. And even though Spielberg's real estate holdings are undoubtedly luxurious, they reflect his personality more than his desire to show off wealth. He's not about ostentation or extravagance for the sake of it. Rather, Spielberg's homes are personal sanctuaries, spaces that provide peace and quiet and offer him the opportunity to recharge which is essential for a man who has spent decades creating some of the most iconic films in history. We've talked about the incredible real estate Spielberg owns, but like many people with significant wealth, his collection of cars is equally fascinating. One of the most iconic cars in Spielberg's collection is a vintage 1971 Ferrari 365, also known as the Daytona. It's a classic beauty with sleek lines and a powerful engine that captures that perfect blend of speed and luxury. It's the kind of car that shows Spielberg's appreciation for the finer things in life without going overboard. The Ferrari Daytona is a nod to the past, an era of craftsmanship and timeless design, and it's clear Spielberg has an appreciation for these qualities. But it's not just about the classic cars. Spielberg also owns a few modern luxury vehicles, including some models from brands like Mercedes-Benz and BMW. These cars are known for their precision engineering, comfort, and elegance, which fits Spielberg's taste for understated luxury. A Mercedes-Benz S-Class, for example, is all about smooth rides and tech-forward features, perfect for someone like Spielberg who enjoys the best in both innovation and comfort. Beyond his personal rides, Spielberg also has a bit of a soft spot for unique vehicles. He's been spotted with his family in a rugged off-road vehicle, a Land Rover, which shows that Spielberg enjoys the outdoors and a bit of adventure when he's not working on films. This isn't the type of vehicle you expect from someone in his position, but it speaks to Spielberg's down-to-earth side, especially when he's looking for an escape from the public eye or simply wants to enjoy the natural beauty of his properties. And let's not forget his connection to some iconic vehicles tied to his films. Spielberg's love for cars isn't just about owning them, it's also about how they've appeared in his films. From the Jaws boat to the Back to the Future DeLorean, Spielberg has had a hand in bringing some of the most famous vehicles in movie history to the big screen. His appreciation for vehicles is deeply rooted in both their function and their place in storytelling, and that passion undoubtedly extends to his personal collection. As of 2025, Steven Spielberg continues to be a dominant force in the film industry, seamlessly blending his rich legacy with contemporary cinematic endeavors. In February 2025, Spielberg commenced filming an enigmatic UFO-themed film in New Jersey, featuring actors Emily Blunt and Wyatt Russell. The production has since moved to Huntington Village, New York, prompting temporary parking restrictions to accommodate the crew. While plot details remain under wraps, the film is slated for a theatrical release on June 12, 2026, under the tentative title Disclosure. Further expanding his cinematic influence, Spielberg is producing a sequel to the 1985 classic The Goonies. Collaborating with original writer Chris Columbus, the project has garnered significant attention, with plans for Columbus to pen the screenplay. Spielberg's personal life remains largely private, reflecting his preference for seclusion. However, his influence extends beyond his films. A recent study analyzing 1,884 Oscar speeches revealed that, after God, Spielberg is the most frequently thanked individual during the Academy Awards, underscoring his profound impact on the industry. Spielberg's ability to adapt to evolving cinematic landscapes ensures his continued relevance. His involvement in both producing and directing projects that resonate with contemporary audiences highlights his enduring appeal. Notably, his influence extends beyond filmmaking. His frequent acknowledgments at prestigious events like the Oscars attest to his lasting legacy and ongoing significance in the entertainment world. What surprised you most about Steven Spielberg's life? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked this, check out the videos on your screen now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.